Let's go to Anthony in Richmond. Good evening.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I've got an online portfolio which sort of got work samples on it. It's basically sort of graphic design and stuff like that. And I got an email from a company saying they were representing a large media company. And they said, we are contacting you on behalf of X, News and Media Inc., to obtain compensation for the unauthorised past usage of their imagery. Basically, they detected that one of the images used by this large media company had been used inadvertently by me on this website. So essentially, it was just like, it wasn't monetarised in any way, and I just had a random picture which apparently belonged to this particular news agency, and they demanded sort of £370. And it basically said, just a quick follow-up, it said, this had been displayed on your website or social media. However, our client has been able to identify a valid license covering it. So I wondered where I stood, because I just found this image, on the web as you do, and it was just part of, I say it wasn't in any way monetarising it. It was just to give some added visuals for a graphic thing I was doing.
What do you do, Anthony?
They're demanding this money.
What do you do?
We're sort of graphics and design work.
So you're a graphic designer?
Yes, more or less, yes.
And this portfolio that you had on your website where you used an image, that's a portfolio of, or clients will believe that's a portfolio of your work in the past?
Yes, exactly, yes. And
so
this was just to give some context to something I was doing. It was a photograph that they detected, but I wasn't claiming that was mine or anything.
Well, what was it doing in your portfolio section if you weren't claiming it was yours?
Well, it was to a company. It was actually a photo which was it was actually a photo of a demonstration, and I put it up there to give some sort of context to some other work that I was displaying.
Right. Now, no, I don't. If I looked at your website, would I think you were claiming that as an example of your work?
Absolutely not. No.
No? Okay. If you used somebody else's... Let me ask you this. If you discovered somebody was passing off one of your designs as their own, would you be a bit peeved?
I would, yes.
And if you discovered they put it up on their website, which is a website designed to get money for them and generate work, would you think you were entitled to some form of compensation?
I could, yes. That could be the case, yes.
Okay. Well, the people whose photo you nicked are just as entitled to be peeved and just as entitled to be very cross. Anthony, by the way, I'm actually looking at your website now because I know what it is. And it looks to me like you're claiming this as your own work.
The photograph in question?
Well, I don't know which photograph it is, but the photos in your portfolio, I can't see anything that's obviously not your work or held out as being not your work. I don't do photography samples, so my work is all sort of graphics and stuff. So this is basically work samples that I've done in the past. Okay. And Anthony, you're in the nicest way, you're BSing me, aren't you? This is on your website as part of your portfolio and it looks like it's something you've done. That's what you intend people to think.
No.
Come on, Anthony.
I can't go into... It would take me ages to go into context into how this has been used. But it's clearly not something that I'm passing off as my own work. All
right. Well, let's pretend I believe you, because I'm looking at your website and I think something completely different.
Okay.
Let's pretend I believe you, and the position nevertheless remains that you are going to be liable for misuse of somebody else's intellectual property.
Okay,
you can't take someone's image off the web and shove it on your website and expect to use it without paying some sort of fee. You know that, Anthony. You're a graphic designer. Come on, you know this.
Well, now that you put it like that, I mean, I should be more careful. But it was basically just to, I just thought it was a photo that had been taken, and I thought it was giving some context to some imagery, and it wasn't, I wasn't claim, any ownership of that photo. It was just to give some context to some other work. But I take your point. Yeah. So you think that, I should basically liaise with this company, should I?
Yeah, they are entitled to get some money off you. First thing I would do, though, is check that the company is genuinely associated with the image holders. So I'd ask them for written proof that they have the image holders' authority to
image holders
chase
authority,
you. Yeah. Second of all, I would negotiate the amount, because they would never have charged you that amount for the original image rights, I suspect. It would have been 10 quid, 20 quid, 50 quid.
Yes, I see.
The bulk of the £370 they're requesting is likely to be penalty enforcement, etc., and a court is unlikely to grant the amount they're trying to get off you. So at this point, Anthony, it becomes a negotiation. You're going to be liable for something, but you are fully entitled to try to negotiate that down as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, for example, if I tell them the context it was used and so forth, and which I can prove that it wasn't, I wasn't claiming ownership for, and that sort of thing. So I word that to them, and then basically say, I think that's excessive or something like that.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, that's fantastic.
All right,
that's very good.
Thank you. And
Brilliant.
Anthony, don't nick people's images and put them on your portfolio.
Okay. It's actually images all social media. So, I mean, at the end of the day, one of the things is there's a lesson to be learned here. I think that, because I think we're all used to just, plucking things off the internet and using them on Facebook, Instagram or whatever. But I think these things are just becoming more and more searchable, aren't they? So at the end of the day, I take your point. I'll have to be much more careful.
All right, Anthony, thank you so much for the call.